the motion, State of the Nation.
Parliament has had a rare opportunity of taking a prior approval of the deployment of the Uganda People's Defence Forces outside the country. It is unlike the 2021 deployment of the personnel to the Democratic Republic of Congo or the March 2025 deployment in South Sudan, in which the approvals were made after. The Constitution and the UPDF Act as amended provide for both prior and after deployment approvals. However, retrospective approvals have always been a subject of contention among sections of Ugandans.
This is the first time we have come here before deploying, but the circumstances before were different. If there is an imminent threat, then coming here may not be, or in the absence of the House. So yes, this may be the first time we have come here before deploying, but it's not the first time we have done the right thing.
Despite the government seeking prior approval this time for the deployment of stabilization contingent of the UPDF in the Gaza Strip, the motion for the request easily sailed through.
Those in favor say unto the container.
The Minister of Defense and Veteran Affairs, Chiriwa Chiwanuka, moved the motion in Parliament, highlighting that the US President Donald Trump requested President Museveni for the deployment in July.
The Republic of Uganda, in accordance with Section 38 of the Uganda People's Defence Forces Act, has held planning meetings between the Uganda People's Defence Forces, senior leadership and officials of the United States Embassy in Kampala.
The government justified that the law supports Uganda's participation in regional and international organizations. They insisted that the UPDF is a strong and capable army befitting of such operations, adding that the missions are critical in preventing further conflict in the Middle East region of the Gaza Strip and Israel, contribute to the elimination of terrorist cells, and provide an opportunity for the antagonizing sides to usher in peace.
We all know that the situation in Gaza is not good. It's despicable when you see how people are living. We cannot be in this house as members of the representatives of the rest of Uganda and those who want to live in a peaceful country, not to support the deployment of the UPDF to go and help members of the community.
However, the passing of the motion was with a bit of resistance from a section of the MPs.
Deploying Uganda People's Defence Forces, we are not deploying an army belonging to an individual. That's why there is parliamentary resolution and all parliamentary approval. Right Honourable Speaker, I do not want actually myself to debate from just a point of procedure, because there have been issues which have been consistently raised by people who have been deployed out of the country, and issues have not been resolved.
They accused the government of stampeding them without an opportunity to internalize the request.
We also need to know the funding of this force. Who is going to fund our stay in Gaza? We also need to know so many of those details that we cannot get in the motion that the Honourable Minister has tabled. Because, Right Honourable Speaker, we are deploying lives. It's not about NRM, it's not about opposition. It's about the lives of the soldiers they were sending for the peace mission.
The motion was not scheduled for deliberations during the sitting. The Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Thomas Tayebwa, owned up to what he indicated to have been an oversight on his part. The debate on the motion went on with mass support from the government wing and UPDF representatives.
I want to allay any fears. The contingent that will be selected will not just go as if they are just moving to dance. They are going to go through the International Peace Support Training Center, and that's why my colleague who went through that center was able to survive.
I worked in Somalia under AMISOM for 1 year, 2019-2020. It is out of the money I got from Somalia that I was able to go back to school. I studied law, I'm a lawyer. And that is why I'm here. So, honorable members, life is lived once. Whether you stay in this parliament, whether you stay where, you'll die.
A soldier who happens to come from my constituency is robbing me to be deployed abroad. They are robbing me, and I'm like, you people, what are you robbing for to go to Somalia?
They asserted the readiness of the UPDF to take on any missions whenever called upon. The US President Donald Trump established the International Board of Peace, which is tasked to oversee the reconstruction and funding of the Gaza Strip. It followed Israel's counterattack in the Gaza Strip with bombardments targeting Hamas that led to the massive destruction and the death of an estimated 73,000 Palestinians, according to the Gaza Health Ministry. Hamas carried out a surprise attack on Israel in October 2023, prompting the prolonged retaliation following the killing of an estimated 1,200 Israelis and the taking of 251 hostages, majority of whom were later released in a process that lasted until October 2025. Jackson Onyango, NTV at Parliament.